It's that special time of year where we're being sponsored by HelloFresh. That's right, a meal kit delivery service that's delivered right to your door with the freshest ingredients that you can cook in 30 minutes. Who can cook it? Anybody. That's right, I cooked it.
Now, normally when we're sponsored by HelloFresh, I will do the cooking, as I actually get HelloFresh. I love them. They're a brand I actually use, and I love to cook. And Allison seems terrified of cooking.
I've never cooked before. This is the most I've ever cooked. They send just the right amount that you cook with.
Yeah.
There's no waste. They have 2 dietitians on staff to make sure that the meals are nutritionally balanced. I'm trying to eat healthier. And you can get $30 off your first week if you go to HelloFresh.com and use the code JBU30.
Pretty good deal.
That's less than $10 a meal. I made this.
I mean, you were so worried it wasn't going to be good, and then it's great.
Like, I didn't even make this correctly, guys, and it still tastes good. Now they also have their new spring meals, and they're going to have breakfast options. Are you kidding me?
Wait, what? They're going to have breakfast options?
Yeah. Like, I don't have to eat cereal I think is healthy but isn't anymore. Look at this. It's spring greens gnocchi. And then, I mean, are you kidding? It looks exactly the same.
Yeah, you put
Minus the paper plate.
I actually get HelloFresh, and I didn't know about the breakfast option, so...
Yeah, because you don't do any of the prep for our branded videos.
Wow, go on.
I'm just carrying the weight of this whole company on my shoulders.
But I get to actually be like, wow, really?
We've got an international question. I feel like more energy from the veggies. Amy Australia wants to know, how was high school? Pretty bad.
Bad.
Very bad. Whose do you think was worse?
High school experience?
Yeah, mine, right? I mean, were you almost like taken out of school?
No.
Yeah.
Why
Did
were
you have knee surgery where you couldn't walk?
Why were you taken out of school?
My parents almost had to take me out of school because I was like in a bad way.
You were pregnant?
No, that's why I took my leave of absence.
Yeah, you never went to Choate, you just got pregnant.
That would be the most shocking of all, that anyone would have had sex with me in high school.
It's a real tough one because I was definitely didn't have a lot of money and was in the closet. So those are 2 in my favor in terms of
okay, but like
bad
not
high
having a
school.
lot of money in high school, like what are you gonna do? You're gonna invest your money?
We were at
You had food, you weren't hungry.
No, but I was at a rich kid school, and I was like less popular because
That was probably because of your personality.
I was at a religious school and I was in a religious community, and I was trying to knew I was very liberal and knew that I was like queer and knew that everything was like that everything was getting like repressed. I was very upset.
Did you have to sleep on a desk bed?
What's a desk bed?
Exactly. A desk bed is like a bunk bed, but the bottom level is a desk, and then the top level is a bed that's very close to the ceiling, and I couldn't even sit up.
At your school you had to do that?
Yes, and then the next year, my roommate wouldn't let me keep the lights on. And I had this machine after my knee surgery where, like, you had to, like, put, like, these pads on your knee, and then you had to electrocute yourself, and I had to do that in my bedroom, like, while my roommate was being mean to me.
What?
Yeah. You want to play this game?
I have so many questions.
I had a group of friends, lost that group of friends, got a new group of friends. They're like, you're too depressed, lost that group of friends. Mm-hmm. Looking back, I was like, I get it. This is my 10-year anniversary this year.
Oh, I skipped mine.
I'm not going.
No way.
Are you kidding me?
No way. I mean, it got much better in college. Definitely much better.
Not for me.
Okay.
It got better about 6 months ago.
What trope were you? Like, what were you like? I was like kind of goth.
I was like a loser. I was like a brown noser.
Oh,
What's
God.
that?
That you just like sucked up to the teachers and like
I tried too hard in class. What's that?
Oh,
unbearable?
I would not have been friends with.
Oh my God. All I did was my homework. While girls across the hall were just doing cocaine and FaceTiming with their vaginas. But back then it was Skype.
You were so miserable in these like, you know, situations that are like rich kid situations. And then I was like, okay in these like bad situations. My dad was still drinking. That was not great. Yeah. I had to try to hide my dad's alcoholism from my sister who was young. And then we were like going to move out of the house every other week.
That sucks. I also had a lot of orthodontia work. So like we're talking like full braces. We had like bands, but I also had this thing called a Herbst appliance, where it was like a little metal screws right here. So it was like this, and I had these bars, and if I opened my mouth wide enough, the bars would open and flip out.
Can I ask you a question? Do you think that, like, if it wasn't 2017, you would have died? Like, if it was Victorian times, you would have just died as a baby?
Yeah. Maybe I'll go to my 15-year reunion.
I'm not going anywhere near that shit.
I need an Oscar first.